Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 13 was something. As a general Yellowstone episode, it was indeed okay, but as the penultimate episode of the entire show, it was disappointing. While Taylor Sheridan's character Travis was playing poker with naked women and Bella Hadid is apparently now a new character, important plot lines also took place. Kayce finally revealed his plan to save the ranch. We learned that John's funeral is finally going to take place. Jamie took advice from Christina on how to move forward while threatening Beth with revealing all their dirty laundry. Jamie's plan. After learning that the details of his sexual encounters with Sarah have been exposed to the public, Jamie faced the risk of his entire reputation being ruined. With everyone now understanding that Sarah had something to do with John's murder, Jamie's involvement in the matter started to be questioned by the people. In the face of this challenging situation, Jamie tried to find a way out. First, he attempted to threaten Beth, but when did that ever work, huh? Then he visited Christina, his baby mama, for advice on what to do next, and that girl was ready to lay out an entire plan. She advised Jamie to hold a press conference to talk about his innocence and how he loved his father and respected his legacy. It was truly inspirational. All Jamie had to say was thank you. In the final episode of the season, we should see Jamie in front of the press making a statement. It'll be pretty interesting to see what he will say to try to save his ass, but I am sure what he says will cause a reaction from Beth. Everyone now expects Jamie to die at the hands of Beth, and some also believe Rip will be the one to kill him. Nevertheless, one thing is clear, Jamie will not make it out of this season alive. But how will his death be imagined in the finale? Beth and Rip. There's the big abortion incident secret Rip has yet to discover. Honestly, it doesn't make sense for the show to end without Rip learning about the true reason why Beth cannot have children and Jamie's true role in it. After Jamie's press conference in episode 14, Beth can finally let it out to Rip and let him know about the incident. In the part 2 trailer, there was this explosive moment with Rip burning down someone's car. That must be Jamie's car, we all know that. So either Beth and Jamie have a final confrontation where Beth kills her brother, or it's Rip who confronts Jamie and kills him, destroying his car afterward. What do you think about this storyline? How will Jamie die? Do tell me in the comments. Some fans expect Jamie to attend John's funeral, as they think him showing up at John's funeral will fuel all the anger of Beth and cause her to spiral out of control, leading to a deadly confrontation. As you know, Beth is 100% sure that Jamie was in on the plan to kill their father. She doesn't blame Sarah only. So for him to show up at John's funeral without any shame will definitely make Beth furious. I personally believe the funeral scene will be one of the most emotional, perhaps the most emotional scene of the new episodes, because it will not only be the family and the ranch hands saying goodbye to John, but the audience too will say goodbye to the character who did not deserve that kind of a send-off. Get ready to shed some tears because I know I will. Now let's talk about Kayce's plan. From what I understand, Kayce will sell the ranch for $1. I'm sure it won't be $1, but the main point was that the ranch would be sold for much less of its value, so the taxes to be paid would be minimal as well. Now, who is he going to sell it to? Of course, the answer is the reservation. During last week's episode, Kayce told Tate that the ranch wasn't their home anymore, and this week he told Beth that the only way to save the ranch is to give it away. This shouldn't be a big revelation since we know John tried to put the land into conservation easement in part 1. Those who watched 1883 are also aware of the major prediction. Yes, the Duttons took over the land, but with a forewarning that the tribe would rise up and take it back in exactly 7 generations, aka now. So Kayce's idea is to save the ranch by keeping it whole and preserving it in perpetuity. Is going to sell it to the reservation for very little, perhaps for an amount the reservation would be able to pay. You must remember the scene with Kayce and Thomas Rainwater from the part 2 trailer where they appear to be making a deal. Once the reservation owns the land, they can annex it into the reservation, which means it's protected from inheritance and property taxes. It also means that the tribe could stop the airport project and the pipeline deal, which is especially troubling for Rainwater, as we saw in this episode. He's trying to find a way to stop it. Do you think this plan will work? Do you like the idea of the reservation getting hold of the land? Let's talk about it in the comments. What else? Well, the main question that remains after all of this is where the characters will go. Fans have noticed Yellowstone ads talking about episode 14 as the season finale rather than the series finale, which could mean there is more to come for the show. Earlier this year, there was news about Cole Hauser and Kelly Riley being in negotiations about continuing the show for its season 6, but nothing is official yet. There's also the 4 Sixes spin-off teased for some years now. With Jimmy revealing that there are no open jobs for anyone in 4 Sixes, it isn't clear where characters like Teeter will go. Will the reservation allow the ranch hands to continue working on the ranch? What do you think? Also, would you rather see Beth and Rip in Yellowstone season 6 or a spin-off show like 4 Sixes? In one of the part 2 episodes, we saw Beth quite liking it in Texas. She liked something about the atmosphere there. If the land is no longer theirs, then it does make sense for them to move someplace else. I for one think a 4 Sixes spin-off without Beth or Rip would be insufferable, but we will see. If you want to see the leaks from the final episode, check out this video.